the planet die, then be communists and go to hell, right?
Either way,
we're on board with that, aren't we?
Either way, it's a little warm.
Okay. Whoops,
What's the next one?
Okay. That's my place here. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see. Okay. Okay.
Ready?
Tell the big banks they can't hide. We all see their greedy side. Cut the crap and the greed. Give the people what they need.
Ready?
You ready? Tell the big banks they can't hide. We all see their greedy side. Cut the crap and the greed. Give the world what we need.
Okay, so let's just do a really. All right, this is good. Get up, get down. There's climate justice. Bring climate justice to this town. Get up, get down. Bring climate justice to this town. Get up, get down. Bring climate justice to this town. Get up, get down. Bring climate justice to
here, and we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to do something about it. So we're going to call our Senate. Hey, we got a caller. Yay!
Thanks very much.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, you got a choice.
And folks coming up the street are folks from Sunrise. Here they come.
Humanity has faced many crises throughout our millennia of existence, but the climate crisis may be the waters with waste, or the Amazon wildlife clear-cutting their own forests. No other species works so actively to destroy their only home, and no other species must now work to stop it. Adults, scientists, parents, and activists, and we're all united under a common goal, to make a green and more sustainable future.
That's right.
At Fridays for Future, we strike because we care for our planet and for each other. We have hope that humanity can change, avert the worst climate disasters, and leave a better future. With every passing day, our numbers grow, and everyone is welcomed and needed. No one is ever too small to make a difference. As we march today, here's to many, 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 many more Fridays in the future. Thank you.
We very much appreciate folks coming. One of the things we have, I guess.
Jeff asked if I would speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, please.
Jane.
Hello, my name is Jamie DeMarco, and first, why doesn't everyone come up on the steps? Let's have the banner face out to the street, and everyone up here so everyone's in the shot. Come in, let's show our numbers. Bring it in, bring it in. Now, I was asked to say a few words. We need an all-of-government approach to stop the climate crisis, like we elected President Biden to do. The climate costs are here. The climate costs are here. I said I would keep it real. There was once a town called Paradise, California. And there were families that woke up there one day, Tuesday morning, over the hills, and they called 911. They said, do we need to evacuate? And they were told, no, you don't. The fire is far enough away. It's not going to reach you. If it comes towards you, we'll let you know. That fire, that campfire, then moved farther and faster than anyone had ever seen a fire move due to unprecedented heat and wind. And everyone got the evac order at the same moment, flooded the roads, there was gridlock, the cars were stopped. There were families who a few minutes earlier had been pouring OJ at the breakfast table, getting ready for school, stuck in traffic as cars stopped with the fire fast approaching. People got out of their cars and started to proceed by foot. And I don't know if you know this, but you cannot outrun a forest fire. So what are people going to do? What would you do in that situation? People took different approaches. Some people went to the biggest parking lots they could find and laid down in the middle of them. The people who jumped in the pools did not. Who lives across the street from her parents, who was walking across the street to check on her parents, and could hear them inside the house saying, the water's rising, what are we supposed to do? And as she watched, the house was washed away, a brick house with her family inside. The climate crisis is...
So we're going to be heading up to Washington Circle here in just a second. For one second before we head off, I want to read a short excerpt of someone who probably should have been here at the Federal Reserve. Someone may have, some of you may have heard the name of Sarah Bloom Raskin. She was nominated to be the vice chair of the Federal Reserve and had a particular interest in climate until that nomination was killed. This was Sarah Bloom Raskin's, where she pulled her nomination. She says, "I've become the subject of relentless attacks by special interests, culminating weeks ago in the boycott of a routine Senate bank, climate change, and the economic costs associated with it. It was and is my considered view that the perils of climate change must be added to the list of serious risks that the Federal Reserve considers to ensure the stability and the resiliency of our financial system. This is not a novel or a radical position. Banks and insurance companies incorporate financial aspects of climate risk and extreme weather events into their plans. Farmers, ranchers, and the businesses across the country already are struggling to adapt to climate extremes: floods, hurricanes, rising sea levels, and wildfires. Despite these urgencies, we're witnessing a drive to make financial risk a tawdry political issue. The Senate confirmation process is now stuck in this polarized condition, depriving us of the social cohesion and professional expertise we need to have a future economy that's strong, resilient, and inclusive. We're entering an era of financial, economic war.
It's a bit of a strong word, but manifesto a little bit. We don't get many of those in this movement. To be proactive. Mainstream media cannot stand in solidarity with any kind of movement if it's just providing stats and facts and reports and then letting us all move on passively with our lives. It creates passivity, it creates the conditions by which we can be manipulated by those in power, and it's not acceptable anymore. And we're running out of time. And also, social media, on that topic, is abundant. There's so much going on. We get passive through social media too, we connect with people, but then once we find out information, we scroll, and we keep scrolling, and we become desensitized, and we become overwhelmed, and we feel like things are doomed and inevitable, but that's not true. There's so much promise. There's so much promise. So what I'm trying to start, and what I think we should all work on as activists, is forms of media that connect each other. We can connect with each other, we can have actions together, we can meet each other, we inform each other, we empower each other, we inspire each other, all of these things we do as a collective. We don't need one source telling us one thing, we don't need one person telling us one thing, we can all share our stories, share our narratives, and we can publish them, we can circulate them around our schools, we can talk about them in our classes, we can do all of these fight for the climate crisis in a class at my school, because we're lucky to have some sort of climate education, but a lot of people don't. And you know where the climate education lacks? You know where regular education lacks? Issue is directly tied to every single economic issue that will come across us in the next century, every single social justice issue that will come across us, every single infrastructure, energy, all of these things, humanitarian, it's intertwined. And you can't have any kind of future without investing in renewables. We are calling for a renewable revolution, and it's exciting. It's incredibly exciting. It's not a burden. It's not something like, oh my God, we have to do this we have to do this faster. I was like, uh-oh, like we're gonna have like a sucky world if, regardless, like economy or earth, which one do we choose? No, it is both. It is a 2-in-1 deal. In the worst on carriage. That's a great idea. Let's just lobby for sustainable, renewable fuels and energy that go on forever and ever, and we need to inform everyone that this is the way to go because it is a revolution and it is on the way and it's been halted for way too long. Thank you.
I just gave a speech about the rally, but I'm going to kind of spitball here a little bit. So, growing up, I've watched all across the world how climate injustice has disproportionately affected poor communities and communities of color more than anyone else. And I watched my family suffer because of it. I am the first in the world where the government does not value our lives, where they value money over anything else. But Biden knows what we're standing for, and that he needs to recognize it, and he needs to declare. And we have to do something now, and we can't let them keep waiting. And we're going to be here today, and we're going to be here tomorrow, and we're going to keep coming out until Biden and the government all across the world does something about it.
Declare a climate emergency. Biden, declare a climate emergency. Biden, declare a climate emergency.
So finally, we're going to be heading up to Washington Square. One thing before we get going on this, we have, first of all, a number of Metro cards that we'd like to pass out to folks who have taken the Metro today, and also